Hello, Potato. The holidays are well and truly over. We've even had Lunar New Year. We're fully on at the end of January. It is time to finally take down the LEGO Winter Village and put up the spring display, which for me is my modular city set. And while the city is pretty crowded, I may have to start weeding things out of it. I mean, I actually already have started weeding things out of it over the last couple years. I like having kind of action scenes in it, and I love me some mechs. I've got my Hydra Stomper in there. I've got the Ironmonger in there. I've got I think it was U.S. Steel. It came with Agent Coulson's car, so the only reason I actually have it is because it came with Coulson's car. And this year I decided, finally, it's time to add in Kit 76247, the Hulkbuster, the Battle of Wakanda. Now, they've released a number of Hulkbuster kits over the years, including that really, really nice, $600 one, which is really, really nice. But one, it's a little large for scale. And two, if I'm going to spend the $600, $800 level of a Lego kit, I'm going to go with that AT-AT. If maybe the Razor Crest, but probably the AT-AT if I was going to spend that much money. Realistically, at this point, I don't think I would go much farther beyond buying something like, say, the Mos Eisley Cantina, and even then I'd want to use a fair number of VIP points for it. But historically, I feel, to me at least, the Hulkbuster kits have been fairly hit or miss, and I think largely more miss than hit. The closest I've ever been to buying one was the What If Hulkbuster from, last year, year before? Time blurs. I think it was year before at this point. But yeah, that's as close as I've ever actually been to buying a Hulkbuster. But this year, this one came out at the beginning of the year. It's a brand new kit for 2023. For ages 8 and up, only 385 pieces, so I don't expect this to be too complex of a build. But this one I think doesn't look bad. It's pretty good looking. Obviously, this is from Infinity War. Yeah, could be from the first part. It's got Bruce Banner there inside the Hulkbuster. We've got Okoye. We've got a couple of Outrider minifigures, which is cool because I don't think I have any actual Outrider figures, or rather, if I do, they're in kits that I've never built. I know there aren't any in the city display. So if I have any, they're in kits that I've never built. It's from the Infinity Saga series, so it's just, the kind of mishmash of various things from the first four generations of the MCU movies. Now, looking at it, yeah, I do think we're going to have in here a lot of stickers, because it looks like the shoulders are stickers. I'm guessing these will be as well. So that's the thing I always love to see in Lego kits is stickers. I'm guessing honestly the only printed piece in here, aside from the minifigures of course, is going to be the helmet. I feel like all the rest of this detail work is going to be decals. Yay. But still, I mean, it's a pretty small kit. Is it a thumb punch? Oh no, yep, it's a thumb punch. Love me a thumb punch. I don't love me a thumb punch. Let's open up and see what we've got inside here. Kind of get some idea what we're looking at. So, got bag 1 and 3. And yeah, there's our sheet of stickers, and yeah, it looks like everything except the helmet is going to be a decal. Well, that's not unexpected, is it? I mean, any of us who've been building Legos over the last decade or so knows to expect a fair amount of decals in our Lego builds. There's bag 2, bag 3. This feels like an insufficient number of Lego, though. It feels like basically what we're going to have here is a souped up one of those Marvel armor mechs. This just really doesn't seem like enough pieces. I guess maybe because they're all small pieces. I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out as we build it, won't we? But then we do have a QR code here. Last build we did, which was the money tree for Lunar New Year, didn't have a QR code on it. So That came out, I think, initially like 5 days before this kit. I have no idea how they decide what gets a QR code and what doesn't. There's a bigger QR code for Lego feedback, which I only have to do feedback for the store. I guess I don't want this kit to be too big because then it just wouldn't fit in the city as it is. It's going to be... Something's probably going to have to go. I have to get rid of a car or something, maybe some more of the Lego movie stuff or something will have to finally go. So we have 192 steps to this build. But it shouldn't be too difficult. It's gonna be those stickers that I like the least. So, without any reason to delay it any longer, let's get into the fast forward and get it built. Oh, actually, before that, I guess because Bruce Banner's the star of the kit, he gets little explosive. Does anybody else get little explosive stars? You ever notice the bottom of these, they have like a progress bar on these now? I wonder if you could flip through it in such a way that makes it actually like animate that he's walking through the pages. Well, I guess if anyone else has stars on them, I'll try to get a second of that in the fast forward. But yes, no more talking, to the fast forward. And there we have it, LEGO Kit 76247, the Hulkbuster, the Battle of Wakanda, all put together, and I'm pretty pleased with it. So, reservations to start with. Maybe are these not pushed in all the way? I think maybe these hips aren't in all the way, because it seems like that. There we go. Yeah, I just didn't get those seated properly. That's going to be better now. So, as has kind of been a common thing over the last few years with sets with a lot of articulation, we have these little clicky joints, which those are usually fine. I don't think any kits I have with the little clicky joints have ever had an issue. But we also have, I think, down here on the feet, we have the little ball joints. And these have been problematic for me. Also, these the little claws here tend to be a little too. It's just that they get brittle and fall apart over time in a way that other pieces tend not to. I don't know, because there's like stress on them, strain on them, I don't know. But I do feel like 3 or 4 years from now, this kit is probably going to be, maybe not that long, but this kit will probably need some pieces replaced on it. But for now, it looks good. It is definitely, I personally think it looks better than any of the previous incarnations of the Hulkbuster as far as like kind of the play level goes. Again, not counting the big hundreds of dollars Ultimate Collector's Series style one. It's the helmet rig is fairly similar, I think, to the way it was done on the Hydra Stomper, in that it's kind of multi-hinged to get it to slide way back so you get your minifigures in and out easily enough. Although we have the higher shoulders here to kind of set it down under the shoulder level, which is, I think, fairly screen accurate. One thing I like on here, one thing I didn't like about the Hydra Stomper was the lack of articulation in the arms. I think it may have had some elbow, but like the wrists, you couldn't turn. They were just in place. You could make fists, but you couldn't like turn the angle of the hand at all. This one, they have totally fixed that by giving you a hand that rotates full 360, which is nice for depending on what you want to do with it in your play. Of course, you can make a fist. You could presumably have him hold, say, one of the little Outriders here in his grasp, like so. It's quite nice. The articulation, so we got a good range in the hip, nothing in the knees, like at all. There's no flex here at all, but you do have some space in the ankles, so you can get a little bit of movement there, because I think looks nice. So you want to like ball him up like he's about to punch somebody. Did I get those? I didn't get those in all the way either, did I? There we go. I did that one. I just did that one. All right. I got the first one incorrectly. All the other ones were wrong. No, I didn't. That was the first one. That was like the last one. So you have a pretty good amount of articulation on the arms, which is nice. The design is good. I think I did a pretty good job on the stickers. Stickers are always a challenge for me. I felt like I had some trouble with parts of this getting pieces to stay together, and I've seen people complain about that online, that they're finding some of the kits that have come out in the last few months to be a little hard to put together. And that hasn't been my experience. The holiday sets and stuff, the Money Tree, have all been fine. But this one, I don't know if it's just me, or maybe it's just suggestion from reading other people's complaints, but I feel like there were parts on this that I did have difficulty in sticking together. Now that said, now that it's together, it's pretty stable. Nothing's falling off. I don't think I have to be too careful picking it up, which is good for, it's for ages 8 and up. So it's a set that's meant to be played with, even though I'm going to put it on display. It is a play with set. And I think the articulation in it works well for that. I think, of course, it's certainly a lot nicer than the armor mechs that they keep releasing, because they're inexpensive comparatively. Because I want to say this was like 40 or 50, which is, a little steep for kind of a small set when it comes down to it. But it's a nice set. I'm quite happy with it. So minifigures, we have 2 Outriders. Again, I don't think I have any Outriders. If I do, they've never been put together. We've got this kind of like spidery looking one, and we've got the one with the Wolverine werewolf claws. Nicely printed, pretty plain, but they're meant to be just kind of disposable, faceless, nameless enemies that our heroes can just utterly destroy and annihilate without having to think about it too much that, those might be living things that our heroes are cutting in half. And then we have Okoye. I don't think I have any figures of her either. She's got her vibranium spear, which looks suspiciously like Mando's spear in the Mandalorian sets. But I suppose the less said about that, the better. I wonder, maybe vibranium and Beskar are the same thing. Who knows? But again, nicely printed. Of course, Okoye having no hair doesn't have a hairpiece, therefore can only have the one face, as compared to Bruce here, who has the two faces. We've got kind of, knowing, smirky Bruce, and then trying desperately to Hulk out Bruce, which I like the printing on this face. I think that one looks really good. And of course, Bruce goes here in the Hulkbuster. Let's see, I think probably put his hands up to get him to stick in there. There's nothing to attach to. He just literally sits in there. There's no studs to put him in place on. He doesn't go in like that. That is definitely not the way he goes in. Go. Yeah, the hands definitely need to be out. And then that doesn't seem right. I've done something woefully wrong here, I feel. Do I have to put the hands? No, it goes even to put the hands like all the way up. I mean, I guess if he's not visible, that's as far as, oh, he needs to sit, doesn't he? That makes sense. All right, so now put the hands down more, straighten his back. Posture is important. I don't like that I can see his hands. See? I'm probably doing something wrong. I just need to work with it a little bit. I don't think his hands should be visible. That would be a horrible, horrible vulnerability in a combat situation if your hands are sticking out. Plus, how is he controlling all of the rest of it if his hands aren't even inside of it? But I think I can probably finesse that. That's probably just me. Or, I don't necessarily need to even have a figure in there. I mean, really, it's in the display. You're not going to see that if anybody's in it or not. So, yeah, I need something with that. That I'm not thrilled with. But overall, I think it's a very nicely built set, or nicely designed set. I'm saying it's nicely built makes me feel like I'm complimenting myself, and there's no reason to be doing that. We have some flex on the toes there again. The articulation's good. It's got a good range of posability. I do wish the knees had some flex in them, but I feel like that also would just be one more place the pieces could wear out and crack. In fact, I wouldn't be terribly surprised if that is a place where we get some crackage, because we have I've never had a problem with these pieces, but these ones, you can't really see them, I don't think, but they're kind of like this style with kind of the claw grip on them. Those I have had issues with them just becoming brittle and cracking. We have any posability in the waist? We do not. Yeah, the waist is just, it's one of those pieces I could do that. Yeah, there's no turning at the waist, which is kind of unfortunate, but still, I think, we can almost do a superhero landing here. And that's pretty cool. There we go. It's a little bit of a, it doesn't particularly like it. I think it's just putting on a little too much, but tilt it forward more. There we go. I think we've achieved superhero landing with the Hulkbuster. Here, let's give him something to superhero land on. But I'm pleased with it. It's definitely going to look nice in the city. I don't know, maybe I'll have it fight that T-Rex I picked up at Brickpalooza last year. Maybe I'll have it fight Ironmonger. I don't know, but I'm pleased with it. It's a nice set. If you've been waiting for a good-looking Hulkbuster, I think they've finally achieved that. I think a lot of the other ones have looked, a little gangly, a little too thin. I think someone finally designed a good minifigure scale Hulkbuster. And again, with a good range of posability, a pretty sturdy build, This is good for both people who want to set up, a display scene, and for people who want to give it to an 8-year-old to actually play with. You won't spend the whole day putting on bits that have fallen out, because you've seen just while I've been handling it, nothing has fallen off. And I feel I've been a little rough with it. No pieces fell off at all, which is nice for Lego. It's kind of a rarity almost. But that's going to finish up today's video. I need to go actually set up the city so I can put this in it, and then I'm sure at some point I will post pictures on the @VoidOfIntelligence Instagram, and you can go and check them out and see what this year's city looks like if you care. If you care, also, you can go back and look at previous years. Just scroll back through. There's stuff there from the last probably 7 or 8 years if you go back far enough. But I hope you found this at all interesting or entertaining. If you did, go ahead, give it a like, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.